What is up? Welcome to Let Me Ramble. I've been wanting to ramble, so let's get into it. Today is a chill day. I am just laying in bed and I just got off work. It's Friday afternoon. The sun is shining. My fan is making a loud ass noise if you can hear it. So that's what that is. But yeah, today's a pretty chill day. Um, I finally have time to film this, but I'm tired, so I'm gonna lay down. And this is a podcast, so if you're watching it, hi, this is me laying down, but also, if you're listening, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna be cozy today. I might sit up because I am a little crink in the neck trying to do it like that, but yeah, today's just very chill. I want to ramble, hence the title, Time to Ramble on the first episode here. I kind of just want to go over, like, just random things. That's what this podcast is going to be. It's just random topics that I want to talk about. Because sometimes I send random, like, voice notes and stuff to people, but then I'm also like, dang, like, this is a lot of information to just listen to. So why don't I just put it in a podcast and whoever listens, listens, you know? Or it could just be me for myself in the future so I can remember. And I love that, you know? I keep track of a lot of things. I do have, like, videos and stuff of trips and things I've gone on. A lot of them are private. I just watch them myself because I'd be getting, like, I want to go, like, oh, I remember this trip, like, to LA in 2019, blah, 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 something like that, you know? Like, I have tons of, like, footage, and I just love keeping track of stuff. So that's kind of what this is gonna be, except it's like a podcast form. So welcome to it, listener, or whoever you are. Um, you know, one thing that's on my mind today is, first and foremost, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I went out to drink last night, so I am very tired. And if my throat sounds like congested, it's because allergies, dehydration, lack of sleep, and lack of just motivation. Simple as that. I drank too much yesterday. The bars that I went to, the bartenders kept giving us free shots, and they had like a spin the wheel, and we spun the wheel, got free shots again. I was like, oh my god, which I love. I love free things, and I love alcohol. But there was this one drink that I ordered, and it was absolutely disgusting. It had like whiskey in it, and it was so strong, which is like, it's what I ordered. So I mean, of course, but it was, woo, never again. I'm not a big whiskey drinker. Like, I love alcohol, and literally, like, they did that thing where it was like the countdown, finish your drink in 3, 2, like that thing. I had like to finish it for me because I had to like chug that thing to get it just gone. It was such a strong flavor, but I finished it because I'm never gonna lose, you know? I'm gonna finish everything. So I have, like, when I was driving to get food today, I started a note on my iPhone just of like things that I thought about that I wanted to talk about, so I wouldn't forget them, because I do want to ramble and just talk about random things, but also, like, if I forget something, I'll be so upset. Like, sometimes I'll think of something and I'll be like, oh my god, that's so funny, this just happened. Or write that down, write that down. So that's what my notepad's for, just in case there's things that I'm like, I will forget this, I'm writing it down. And when I was on the way to get food on my lunch break, there was like this guy on the bike, and he almost got ran over by a truck. But it was such a funny interaction that I couldn't help but laugh. I was laughing at the guy that almost got hit by a bike, which is horrible to say. But he, like, waited until the truck almost ran him over, drove off, and then went, like, flicked him off. I was like, the truck can't even see you, sir. Like, it drove away. So I was sitting at a red light and I was laughing. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. First and foremost, the guy on the bike didn't have the right of way. You're in the middle of the highway, so it was funny. And he just took his little bike and he went doo-doo-doo all the way, like, away. And it was just like a funny, like, flick off. It wasn't like an angry thing. It was just like a silly, like, what are you doing type of thing. And speaking of, like, what are you doing? My favorite thing to say recently is, like, what am I looking at? Like, if someone posts something online and it's just like, I don't want to see it, or I'm just like, that's really weird, or like something like that, I'll be sitting on my phone and I'll be scrolling and I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, I'm so confused. Like, why would you post this? Like, what am I looking at? That's one of my favorite things to say right now is just like, wow, like, what am I looking at? Like, what is this? I just think that's so funny. And that was kind of me with that guy flicking off the truck that drove away. He can't see you, and now you're flicking him off. I'm like, it's giving that video, if you know what I'm talking about, where the guy is like riding a bike and he's like, whoa, 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 for like a solid minute, and then crashes into the car and breaks the window. I'm like, you could have got out of the way. The car has to stay on the highway. You're on a bike. Like, you can slow down. Like, if their light turns green, they've got to go because they're holding up traffic. So you have to watch for the cars. That is like, honestly, my hot take is pedestrians should not have the right of way. You know, the only place they should have the right of way is like New York. Let me walk out in the street. I will do that every time I'm in New York. I'm gonna walk real fast in front of a car. But anywhere else, no. Sorry, pedestrians don't have the right of way. Like, you need to watch where you're going. And that dude on the bike was just funny. Like, the same scenario here with the guy that flicked off the truck that was leaving. You could have got out the way. You saw traffic was coming and you decided to keep pedaling. You're pedaling so slow. I know that truck didn't just floor out in front of you. You had plenty of time to move because you're barely moving. Like, that's my hot take. Like, anyways, like, that's insane. Another, like, hot take I would say is don't get wasted at concerts. Because, one, it is really fun. I did enjoy it. But Olivia Rodrigo is coming out with a new album. And I love her. I'm obsessed. I literally have, like, a butterfly tattoo on my leg. And I always think of that song where it's, like, the holes in my butterfly wings or whatever. That's what this tattoo is. I'm like, I love you. Like, that's my butterfly tattoo. And I seen her in New York. And phenomenal. But I don't remember most of it. I was obliterated. I was so drunk that I remember looking at the person next to me. I remember screaming at the top of my lungs. I remember forgetting, like, the lyrics because I was so drunk. I remember, like, singing, and I was like, wait, I know the words, but, like, I can't remember it right now. Like, I was saying the wrong stuff, and I'd be singing, like, so confidently. And then I'm like, wait, actually, that wasn't the words. And I know this song. I know all of Olivia's songs. So I was like, this is crazy. It's because I'm so drunk. But it's because we had, like, so many beatboxes. We went to Governor's Ball, if I didn't mention that, and she headlined, and Beatbox was one of the sponsors. So there was like a bar where you could go buy beatboxes for $20 each. Absolutely insane. But we had so many of them, and we got so drunk. It was so fun. I don't regret it, but I'm like, I need to see Olivia again because I want, like, a less obliterated experience where I can actually sing the words coherently. You know, I had a great time. Absolutely loved it, but I want to be coherent on the tour. I'm like, I want to see her on tour. I want this new album to come out. Like, absolutely love. And kind of like to segue, Deja Vu. She has a song called Deja Vu. I had Deja Vu last night, and I feel like it's just so weird. Like, Deja Vu is freaky. I will literally be at work sometimes, same scenario, same people, same conversations, and I'm like, wow, this is so robotic. Like, haven't we done this before? Haven't we discussed this before? I'm actually very confused and very scared. I'm like, is no one else noticing like this? Like, this is very similar. Like, what's going on? And last night I went to a bar, and at the bar there's this room where you play darts, and, like, the lights are off, and the bar was dead. There was hardly anyone in there. There was one bartender in another room, and, like, that was the only staff that was there. It was, like, that bartender. I don't remember seeing anyone else working there except for that one guy. And, like, in the room that we were in with the darts, there was a fridge in there, and there was, like, a bunch of drinks in the fridge. The lights were off in there, and I looked at this one guy and I was like, free drinks, joking. And we were, like, looking around for the cameras. I literally took a picture, sent it in one of my group chats, and I was like, this fridge is unattended. And then when I woke up this morning, I remembered that I had this same situation, like, a month ago with the same people. Because, like, this one guy, he came to visit. He's not from here. And we met up and went to this bar. And then last night we did that again, and we had the same conversation, and it wasn't just me like doing the same thing again. He was also doing it. And I'm like, now that I'm sober, I remember like we both did this like 2 weeks ago. Same conversation, same like, oh my god, like we could get drinks. Then realizing the fridge was locked, there was a lock on it, and then we were like can't do it. And then when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh my god, we literally did this 2 weeks ago. And so this was like a reverse deja vu. It's not like I was in a situation that I remembered it was freaky. I was in a situation where I've already done this before, and I did the exact same thing again. So it was like reverse deja vu. It was like, I don't know what you call it, like the Truman Show. Like, I don't know, like that was just weird. So yeah, like freaky stuff be happening sometimes. Like, I swear the craziest things will happen. I'll be like in my room, like deciding if I want to do something, and then like my light will blow out. Like, I'm looking at it right now, I'm like, it's actually like the glass around it's kind of dark, like it kind of looks like it blew up, but it literally, like, the light bulb blew out, and I was like, that's a sign. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Like, random things be happening. Or earlier today, I was in my kitchen and the door moved, like the door to go outside like moved, and I go over there and I open it, no one's there. But then all of a sudden someone comes driving up, and I'm like, it's like the house knew someone was coming and then told me. And then I went outside, and then here they come pulling up. I was like, that was weird. like okay, like stuff like that just happens all the time. We just live in such a crazy world. You never know. Like, things just be happening, and it's freaky tiki. I have to pee so bad, but I feel like Rue in Euphoria, where like I don't want to get up. I'm gonna record this podcast, and then I'm gonna take a nap. I'm like, I'm not going over there. That episode where Rue was just like, oh God, I feel like she was like days or something, where she just refused to move and like got an infection. Absolutely insane. But that's what I feel like right now. I'm tired. I don't want to get up. I'm not doing that. Also, like, hot take, but why do people post things that are like very vague? I absolutely hate that. You know, like when you're on Twitter or just any platform, and the person posts something that's like rage bait. It's basically like, oh, you know why they did this or something. And then like you go to the comments and everyone's like looking for context clues to figure out what this is. Like, I hate that type of content, because again, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? Like, what is this? Like, how dare you like post this and expecting us to know what you're saying? Like, context clues are so great. I love context clues. I forgot why. Like, I literally put this down, and I already forgot why I put this in my notes, but I was like, vague post, like, give me context clues. And I don't even remember what that post was that made me want to like write that down. And that's why it's irrelevant. I'm not going to remember your post if it's vague. I'm so sorry. It's absolutely not. Something that I think would be fun, earlier today, I was like going to tweet something that's basically like, I'm not going to be crazy anymore. I've decided I'm healed because the food I had healed me. And the food was so good. Like, I just love eating food, and it's so sunny. It's so pretty. I'm like, nature's healing. I'm healing. Let's ignore everything else that's going on in the world, because I be stressing. Oh, sometimes you just gotta like look at the sun, look at the breeze. It's so nice. Don't look at the sun, actually. Don't do that. But I was gonna tweet that, and then I decided against it. But as soon as I started tweeting that, like, my co-star sent me a notification. So I think in my podcast, I'm gonna record what my co-star says. So this one is just telling me that happiness is a new idea, as if I've never been happy in my life and it's a new thing to me. Like, it baffles me how crazy co-star is. Like, they just try to wreck you every day. Like, let's find another one. What is today? Today's Friday, yep. So this is the one I'm on, and it was like, your day at a glance. Happiness is a new idea. Stop waiting for proof that good things will last. They won't. Like, excuse me, I'm gonna read that again. Stop waiting for proof that good things will last. They won't. Nothing does. But that's not a reason to reject what's being offered right now. Let yourself enjoy this moment without demanding guarantees. Like what? It's like happiness, it's not going to be here forever. Is basically what this is saying. Like, wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see what my Saturday at a glance is, which is tomorrow. It says, you need to remember you are not damaged goods. I'm like, what the frick? I feel like CoStar just like wrecks you. Oh, Sundays is actually kind of sweet because on CoStar you can see like 3 days ahead. This one for my Sunday at a glance. I just want to know what I'm going into for my weekend. This weekend is like Easter, so I'm going to like a tea party. But on Sunday, apparently, my Sunday at a glance is so many people want your heart in any state of brokenness. Your damaged goods. Story is getting old. That's rude. Rude as fuck. Someone sees past your walls and wants in anyways. Stop telling them why they shouldn't. Stop believing them when they say they don't. Wait, what? What does that even mean? Stop telling them why they shouldn't see past my walls, I guess. That sounded weird. And stop believing them. What the frick does this mean? I get the title, but like the summary, I don't know. CoStar's weird, so I will be reading those in the future. They're kind of funny. But yeah, I think in some of my, like, I want to tell some very unhinged, like, stories and, like, past work experiences and stuff like that. But, oof, that's a hot topic. So much stuff has happened. And I'm like, in my mind, if I tell these stories, it's going to get banned. It's going to get blocked. I'm like, some of these are just really, really bad. But then again, I'm like, wait, like, there's podcasts out there about true crime. There's podcasts out there about, like, the news of the world, everything that's going on. They get to talk about absolutely whack crap that's happening. So I'm like, I can tell my work stories and my crazy life experiences and not get banned, right? Question mark. So I think one of my episodes is just going to be deep diving into some scenarios. I have so many. So yeah, I'm like, should I do one today? Possibly, but my camera is about to die, so it really hates me. I actually want to see how long my camera will last. I haven't charged it in about like 3 days, so good for it for not dying until I wanted to actually record, but you know. Oh my god, that ginger ale just tastes like fizz. Like, I love ginger ale, but not that one. That one's bad. So anyways, oh my god. What story should I... life is crazy. I kind of want to go over just basically how your, like, view on situations definitely has an effect on the outcome of a situation. Obviously. Like, obviously. But me saying that, I want to explain, like, something that happened. So there was, like, this company that I had applied for, and I did, like, a job interview with them. And for this job interview, the first one, I just, like, wanted to look real good. I wanted to, like, make sure I was very professional. I wore a suit, and I thought I was killing it. And I had bullet points. I went over everything I wanted to go over. I answered other questions. I related to the guy that was doing the interview. He was talking about fishing and some stupid crap. I was like, oh my god, I'm a fisherman. I mean, I do fish, but like, he said, fired, not even hired. I feel like sometimes, like, that interview specifically, it was like, they knew who they were going to hire already, but they scheduled my interview, so it was like, we just have to do this interview, basically. That's the vibe I was getting. So I go into, like, another one. I have another interview for, like, a job that I wanted, but at this point, I was like, I've already interviewed for this company that rejected me, and here's another offer, but I'm just like, I'm not going to get it. I was not going into this interview thinking, like, oh, I'm stressed because I want to do so good. I was just like, whatever. I've already done this. I had this interview for a different position at the same company. Here's another role that I've never even heard of before, but I'll try it. You know, you never know, like, whatever. That was my mentality going in. It was just like, whatever, let's see what happens. And so I'm in the interview. These are virtual interviews, so I was just on my laptop on like a Zoom meeting, and so the people are in like the office, and I'm in my room. I'm just wearing normal clothes. I was like, I don't care at this point. And they like one of the questions was basically like a work like experience, like how did you deal with like a stressful work experience and how did you overcome it, something like that. And I remember telling them the most unhinged story, one of the most unhinged stories that I have many work stories that are very unhinged, but this one was just funny, and I started discussing it because it was just something that was on my mind that wasn't my previous job, but it was like my first job. So typically I like in interviews and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't want to talk about the job I just left because they're going to be like, wow, like that's crazy. Like we're not going to hire you. So I talked about like my first job, which was me working at the beach, and I was an assistant manager. And here I am in my office on the break or on break, and one of the employees, she comes banging on my door and she wants assistance. And this is a retail job, so she worked on like the first floor folding all the clothes. And people would come in from the beach or wherever and would unfold the clothes. And she was pissed because people were messing up her work. So she was fighting with this family about it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like explaining this story to the job interviewers. And I'm like, yeah, so my employee just wanted me to come down and talk to these customers. I went down there. I was like very apologetic, trying to just calm down the situation. And then all of a sudden, the family members started getting really heated with my employee. Then my employee started like getting very angry, and they were basically fighting. So this is like me telling the story to the interviewers. And I was like, so they got really close, and one of the ladies was pregnant, and they were about to like start fist fighting. Like they started like almost like swinging on each other. And so I started yelling at her, and I was like, you've got to get off the floor. You need to go to the back. You can't act like that. You've got to go. And I just like pointed to the back. I was screaming. I was like, you gotta leave. And so I don't know if I discussed that specific, like me yelling and pointing. I was just like, you gotta get off the floor. Like you gotta go. And then I like looked at the family, and I was telling the interviewers, I was like, so I just like apologized to the family. I gave them a discount. I gave them free taffy, and I should have ended the story there. But in my mind, I was like, whatever, I'm gonna tell the whole story. And so literally I'm looking at them and was like, I don't know if I should tell this, but I already started. And so I was like, well, basically, the employee, she went to the back stock room. She went on break to calm down, and another like employee went with her, and they went into the parking lot, got in their cars, went and drove up to the front door where the family was standing on like the steps to leave, pulled out a gun, and said pow pow, threatening them with it. And so I was like, basically the situation was out of my hands. I had to text my boss, and they called the cops, and they chased them down the highway, pulled them over on a bridge, and arrested them. And I'm like, that's the story I told to these interviewers. And this girl, she was sitting in there, and she goes, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, like, I don't know if I should have told that story, but I already started telling it. So yeah, that was kind of like one of my crazy experiences, and that's how I handled it. And so I left that interview laughing like so hard because I was like, these people are shocked. They're never going to forget that. I thought it was so funny that I told them that. I literally texted people immediately after, and I was like, I can't believe I told them that. That's so freaking funny. I was like, I'm not getting this job. Come to find out, they couldn't forget me because of that, and I got the job. I'm like, you just have to be unforgettable and not care. Like, I did not care about the outcome of that interview. I was like, I wanted to work for that company, but if I didn't, like, I already did an interview before and got denied, so I was already just like, whatever. And that was the mentality that I had. So I mean, just telling them that story made it so funny to me. Like, I was laughing when I closed that computer. I just kind of giggled a little bit in the interview, and I was like, yeah. But afterwards, I was like dying laughing. I was like, that is so funny. And I mean, like, I told them, I was like, yeah, like, there's a news article, you can look it up and Google it, like, and I kind of like told them like where it was and stuff, like they could look it up and Google it. And one of the funny things is when they got pulled over, like one of the ladies, she had like, I don't know, I don't even want to discuss it, but because y'all can probably Google it and find these people. But it was just so funny. I was like, and then my job at the time, I didn't tell them this, but they like had like newspaper articles that were writing about it, and they kept contacting us, trying to like get an interview, and I was told that I couldn't like speak with them. They were like, say no comment, no comment. If some people call, just say no comment. And like that looked really bad. So eventually, like my boss did an interview with them and just kind of like cleared the air, because like you can't just like say no comment. That's crazy. But I'm sure it was like the owners wanted them to just like try to make it go away, but it wasn't going away. So she did an interview and there was an article about it. It was just so funny. So many things happened at that job. I could make 30 videos about my first job. It was crazy. And I was 18 when I started working there, and I worked there for, oh my god, my nose is so itchy. Oh, I worked there for like 5 years on and off, because the pandemic happened like 2 years into it. So yeah, I like had some time off away from that job, but I went back after the pandemic, and I decided not to be a manager anymore because of things that kept happening, and I was just like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, and then it still kept getting progressively worse, so I ended up quitting. But yeah, that could be so many stories about that place. But yeah, that's my podcast for today. I don't want it to be too long. It says I'm at like 28 minutes currently, but I had a lot of blank just like sitting here for a minute, so I feel like it won't be that long. I feel like this is a nice little short, sweet episode. I have a lot of topics that I wanted to talk about, but I have like, I swear I have ADHD, if that's what it is. I don't know. But I will ramble about one topic, go to the next, go to the next. I'll tell you so many stories in one segment. So that's my Let Me Ramble. I'm actually getting really sleepy, and it looks like the sun's getting darker. So I'm going to take a nap. It's the weekend, and that's what I want to do. I'm actually going to play Pokemon Pokopia. That game is so fun. I love that game. I literally, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Pokopia is just so cute. Like the little Pokemon running around. There's like a Pikachu in it that's like sad, and it's just so cute. I'm like, oh my god, I love this game. If y'all have a Nintendo Switch too, get Pokopia. It's really fun. Anyways, thank you for listening. I didn't want it to be too long. This is me signing out. Until next time, I probably will have more episodes very soon. Who knows? Anyways, adios.